Hi, this is Jim. I'm a writer, educator, and podcaster. Thanks so much for watching. In this video, I want to talk about failure. It's something that a lot of us fear and run away from, but I think it's also something that's very useful. I've experienced a lot of failure, so let me take you through a small run through all of the things that I've wanted to do and failed at. When I was a little kid, the first thing I can remember telling adults I wanted to do was become a lawyer. Now, I did this because my mother would tell me, because I was so argumentative, that I was going to become a lawyer. And I would tell other adults this, and I would get a big reaction. So I thought this was what I wanted to do because it sounded proper. It sounded like something I should do. I never really took that seriously, and I never really had any desire for that. But let's count that as a failure. The first dream I ever had was to become a professional wrestler, a TV wrestler, those big, oiled up, steroided guys in their underwear and elbow pads fighting each other or pretending to fight each other. That's what I wanted to do. And maybe it spoke to something within me genetically as a young man, but I saw Hulk Hogan and my favorite, The Ultimate Warrior, and I thought this is what I wanted to be. So around 15, I got my mom to sign me up to be taught professional wrestling. I went to the Monster Factory in New Jersey. Shout out to Larry Sharp. I did that for a while, and I think I did okay. I was pretty athletic for a young man, and this is definitely something that I had passion for. However, right before my first match in front of an audience, my dad's car broke down. I come from modest means. My parents are immigrants from the Caribbean, and this was a big deal for him because he had to pay for it to get towed and fixed. He basically refused ever to drive me back again. And I asked him, what if I got my driver's license? Will he lend me the car so I can drive there myself? And he said yes. But he really just said yes to shut me up. But I didn't know that. And so I got my license at 16, but he didn't lend me the car. And I was really upset and kind of crushed. It was a 2-hour drive, so there was no way I was gonna get there. The next thing that I had some passion for was music. In particular, I loved heavy metal at that time, and I wanted to be in a band. And I was in about 2 bands. And I tried that out for a bit, for a few years, and I went from one band to the other. And I didn't have much talent, to be honest, but I was a vocalist. Predictably, I think most of us there didn't have much talent. I also didn't get along with the guys, and so naturally it kind of fell apart. So let's count that as another failure. It wasn't until I went back to school and got myself educated and experienced the college environment that I realized that I really love education, and I thought for the first time that I wanted to do teaching. And so I pursued my bachelor's degree, and I would also move on to get a master's. It was at Fordham University that I took my first creative writing course, and I reawakened my love of writing as well. I would write stories as a kid, ghost stories, imitations of R.L. Stine, one of my favorite writers, certainly as a kid. I realized this was a passion for me too, and I have to write. This was the time period where I wrote the first stories that I published. So are those things failures? As a teacher, I'm not a professor, which I would like to be, a full professor. And there are certain privileges with that, and obviously higher income. And I'm also not a author with a published book, right, from a publisher. So we could consider those failures, but they are definitely works in progress. I'm going to fast forward, but there were a few other things that I have tried as well. Just as the pandemic was getting started, a relationship that I had for 3 years was ending, and it was a very dark, isolated time for me. I was searching for meaning and thinking about the fact that I hadn't succeeded in the way that I would have liked to have succeeded in writing or teaching, and so I thought, well, maybe I just need to jump into something else. I also needed something else to just kind of get over the loss of this person in my life. And I got really into producing. And it's a really great art form I love it. It's intellectually stimulating, but it's something that I just kind of let go. You can consider that a failure, but I tried it for about a year, and then I realized this is not what I want to do. I also thought about YouTube, and as you can tell, I'm still trying that out. But I started out initially with a finance YouTube channel because those were the types of channels that I would watch and enjoy. And I had a passion for investing since I was young. However, I only made maybe like 4 videos before I realized this is not really my passion. I enjoy watching these videos, but I don't so much enjoy making these videos because I just don't feel like I am as knowledgeable as I would like to be, nor is it the type of content that I want to make for essentially the rest of my life or most of my life. So those were all the things that I can remember that I've ever tried to do seriously and fail at. I've also contemplated at different times becoming a pilot or playing hockey, but those weren't really serious. Those are just daydreams. Do I just like hang my head low and just say, okay, these are failures, and I'm just a loser, and make the haters, if I have any, happy? No. I think that you shouldn't value yourself based on what other people think. I think that in part because only you know how hard you've tried and what your intentions are and what your true skills are. Failure is information. It is telling you something at the very least, right? In my case, it told me these were not the things that I wanted to do. And so I kind of let them fail in a sense. I'm a strong proponent in failing, in doing things and failing and growing as a person because you failed. So I highly encourage you to fail. Pick something knowing that you're going to fail, do it, fail hard, and use that as information to be better. If I hadn't failed at being a finance YouTuber, maybe I would still be doing it, and I wouldn't be doing this, which I find much more meaningful, and I feel much better doing this sort of content. I think that's it. I just want to give a little bit of inspiration to you if you have failed. Have you failed more than I have? I doubt it. I've been failing for quite a bit. Yeah, and I'm okay with admitting that because I know how hard I've tried, and I know how sincere I've been in those attempts, and I know that they were useful to me in my life. If you found stories of my failures interesting, you might be interested in reading a short story that I wrote highlighting these failures called Imitating Life. I will link it down below. So that's it for this video. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, comment. All of that helps me out, and I deeply appreciate it. Until next time, peace.